Hello, I'm Reverend Tomas Garza, and welcome to A Course in Miracles 365, Awakening to Love. All right. Thank you to all of you who are joining from the YouTube channel of Enlightened World Network, where this series of videos that you now see in a pre-recorded fashion actually began a year and a half ago as a live stream. So we, for several reasons, switched it to a pre-recorded format. So if you've joined from their YouTube channel, thank you so much. And also it's available on my own channel, as you may know. So wherever you have tuned in from, welcome. If you're a longtime student of A Course in Miracles, so be it, welcome. If you're brand new, again, I welcome all of you. And especially if you're checking this out, welcome as well. I know that there are a number of people in the course of my daily interactions that ask me about this course, and they're intrigued by it on some level that some of them are perfectly able to voice and articulate, and some can't. They don't know why, and that's really cool. Both of them are very cool. However, this material has grabbed your attention, I invite you to sit with it. Because if you're watching this, and you do know why, great, thank you. If you're watching it and you don't, this is really cool. Pay specific attention to this. Who is that voice deep within you that is leading you to pay attention? Yeah. It's a question for all of us, even if you've been studying this material for 30 plus years, and I know some of you have, which, by the way, in this lifetime is quite a bit longer than I have. So there's that. However, even if we are, in the eyes of the world, advanced students or learners, we can always learn. I'm always learning. No one ever learns as much as the teacher, and I'm a student of this course just the same as you. My calling looks differently, perhaps, than yours. I'm to show up and share this material as well as my own experience. I invite you to pay attention, when you remember it, to this voice that is urging you on to study spirituality, that's giving you a little nudge, or maybe an abrupt shove, as the case may be, to seek something better, or more true, or more loving. It's the voice that says there's got to be an easier way. There's got to be a better way. What I'm doing isn't producing lasting happiness. So, along that theme, let's talk about it. In the Manual for Teachers, we're on question 13. What is the real meaning of sacrifice? What is the real meaning of sacrifice? Well, here in the world, we use that word a lot, don't we? You may consider yourself to have sacrificed a great deal, perhaps in your intimate relationship. You've given up a lot of yourself. You've made a sacrifice. We talk about veterans and military personnel making sacrifices all the time, including up to their own physical lives. It's a word that is out there quite a bit, and it has some meaning to us here in the world. So, in teaching us the real meaning of sacrifice, Jesus states here that the way we view it by and large, here in the world is in order to get something, whatever that is, in order to get something, you're out something. You have to give something up. This is how we see giving, incidentally, in the world. If I give you $50, I'm out $50. We see it that way. That's just one example. And from the standpoint of the universal course, from the standpoint of spirituality, when we examine that, it doesn't really make any sense, does it? Because sure, if I give someone the shirt off my back, I no longer have that shirt. I'm not going to do that here on video, by the way. But that's the way the world sees it. However, we also give ideas. And what happens to those ideas? If you give someone love, let's say you're on a telephone conversation and you tell someone you love them, are you out anything by doing that? No, you're not, right? What happens? The love between the two of you strengthens, it increases. So, as always, here in the world, we have got things completely backwards, which is why we keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. We continue to focus our attention where it does not belong. We continue to focus our attention on external objects, on our relationships, on our careers, on money, on getting stuff, and devote so much of our emotional and spiritual and psychological energy to little things like running out of dishwasher liquid and stressing. Just an example. But think of all the times in your life where you have worked yourself into an absolute tizzy over something that didn't really mean anything, or a future event that never actually came to place. It never happened, right? We do this to ourselves all the time, and it's always, always unnecessary. We are the ones that create our own hamster wheel. We make it and we run around and spin on it. And what we don't realize when we're struggling to keep up is that we can simply take a step off of that. This is the essence of the commentary that Jesus gives us in response to what is the real meaning of sacrifice. Well, sacrifice is giving something up. What would you give up? We have a choice in the present moment. This is the crux of this entire video, is a single present moment choice between two options. Only two. One, the ego. The other, the Holy Spirit. One, use different words. One is fear. The other is love. One is your dark. The other, your light. Self with a little s. Self with a capital S. Right? The ego, God. That's the choice that we make. And the choice we make does involve our giving up something, because this choice of God or the ego, love or fear, is total. You can't be partly in fear and partly outside of it. It may seem that way in the world, but what's really going on is one moment you may be extending love, the other moment you're lashing out an attack, you're in fear. The two cannot coexist simultaneously, and our endless attempts here in the world to make them coexist simultaneously lead to ultimate failure again and again and again. This is why we don't find lasting happiness in the stuff of this world. It's not to be found outside. It is, however, to be found inside, and not realizing that we spin on the hamster wheel. So if you're tired, you can step off. It's just that simple. We can all step off and walk away from the wheel and leave it behind. So when we choose the ego, when we choose fear, we're giving up who we really are. We're exchanging a bunch of transitory, constantly changing, illusory dreams, nothingness. We're saying we want nothingness. And in exchange, we're going to leave to the side everything we already are and have always been. We're going to leave our true identity in God as the Son of God. We're going to leave love and joy and peace. We're going to leave happiness aside, chasing a frickin' shiny object, another shiny object. That's what happens when we choose the ego. Now, when we choose love, on the other hand, we give up all of the nothingness. We realize that it was just a passing cloud. It was all nothing. Now, here in the dream, it seems real to us. We've made it so. We've made it so. This course and spirituality in general, I'll submit, is 100% at its essence about changing your mind. This is the choice, love or fear. Which you choose matters. Because if you choose love, you give up fear. They can't coexist. The opposite's also true, isn't it? If you choose fear, you miss out on love. So the question then for each and every one of us becomes, what do you want to have? How would you have it be? Do you want the peace of God, or do you want suffering? That is the choice. Now, you may be saying to yourself, yeah, that sounds really simple. Can it possibly be that simple? I don't know about that. Well, that's fine. If you're doubting that, you'll hear it again. Maybe not from me, but from someone somewhere. And I invite you simply to sit with these ideas. As a teacher, my job is to, well, be a guide for you. And part of what is going on is what I'm called to say on this video. And every time I take a camera and a microphone, turn it on, and start to share with you is I am piecemeal helping you to weaken your belief in the illusion. I'm helping you to see what's really going on in your own mind and leave fear behind. If you want to say all of this material is weakening your belief in fear, great. So be it. It's not required that you believe any of this. After all, we believe fundamentally in the world to our core that we're something that we're not. Yet it is this voice that I referred to earlier that I want to close with and come back to that continues to speak of something different to you. You're interested in spirituality. And there is a reason why. And it may be that all of this suffering, all of this hamster wheel activity no longer serves you, and you're beginning to realize that. This is very, very important. And as always, I and other spiritual teachers are here to help. You don't have to follow the course itself. It can be a very, very handy substitute to your spiritual path. But what's important is you give these ideas some consideration, and not just that, but then you begin to act on them, because that is always where the action is in spirituality, is on taking action, on applying ideas in your daily life. That is where you will get the experience that shows you that they are true. All right, everyone. Thank you, as always, for joining me. And we're going to keep going. Deep stuff. I wouldn't give you anything other than deep. Isn't that what you're really looking for?